Welcome back to another video for making another amazing thing in NestJS. In this video, we are going to create the validation of incoming and outgoing parameters. It means that when you are using REST API, you need to verify the data type of each parameter. For example, sometimes you need to be sure that the parameter is URL, or maybe sometimes you check if it's a date or even if it's not empty. And after that, we are going to check the outgoing. Do you know why? Just imagine that someone is using your API and you want to change it. And sometimes unwanted changes will affect the response. For example, you were sending a status as a boolean, just true and false. But after the new changes, it will change to a string, something like yes or no. And what will be happen? I think your consumer will stop working. So, unlike of what we think, validating outgoing data is important as incoming data. So, let's create a NestJS project and let's do it together. As you can see, I have created a new NestJS project here, and I have the folders here, src and the controller and one main apps. The first thing which we should care about that we have to go to the NestJS document and we need to just copy this line because we have to add the pipe for the validation in our NestJS project. We have to just paste it simply here, and like that I need to import it. Okay, the next thing is I have to create one sample DTO file, for example register.dto.ts. Okay, uh, here I need to just create the class register DTO and then the parameters which I want. For example, I want to get the name, then string, and then for example birthday. Yes, sorry, and then for example image path string, and also something like age can be a number. Okay, great. The thing is I have to open the controller. Here I need to add it. For example, I want to create a new row. It should be post, and then for now I want to just show it in the console, something like this. What's error? Sorry, I forgot the structure. I need to define a name, for example register user. Okay, like that. Here I need to get body. It's coming from NestJS, and then register DTO type should be same. Okay, great, it's coming. So let's show it like this and then return the exact incoming value. Let's try it and see if it's working. Let's start. Oops, sorry, I forgot to install the class-validator. Let's do it together. I'm using yarn, same as always, just going to add it like that. Transformer. Again, yarn add class transformer. It should work this time. Okay, great. Let's try it. Something like name, Faras. It's my name. Should be post, and also yeah, just like that. Okay, yeah, as you can see, I'm just getting this DTO and then pass it as a response. But the problem is, what if I need another parameter, something like birthday, image path, and age? So here we have to check if those are empty, we should show the error. But it's not easy to just check all the parameters and all the details in our code. So that's why we are using a class validator package. Here easily, if I add is string here, which is coming from class-validator. It's automatically check if the value is string, but the last one should be is number. Okay, let's try that. Okay, good. As you can see, it's showing error and it needs birthday, image path, and age. So if we just add the birthday like this, let's copy it. For example, today. And then the next one, image path. For example, here that png and age. Let's just for test add age as a string, for example 10. Let's see that it's showing you an error that it should be number. So it's great thing that if you want to just deploy your API somewhere, the consumer can understand which type they have to send. Yeah, as you can see, it's working like this. So the problem is sometimes we have to check is the birthday really correct date format or not. So in here, instead of is a string or is number, in their document, as we are going to check, they have a lot of decorators that we can use them. For example, is int, is boolean, is date, and a lot of things that you need to check. But it's not just like that. For example, we have one is URL here that is get some options. Let's just try them. For example, for image path, I'm not going to check if it's a string. I need to check if is a URL. Let's check it. Okay, yeah, as you can see, image path must be a URL. So I'm going to just add it. For example, again, google.com/ here.png. Yeah, it's working as you can see. Okay, so after that, sometimes, for example, age is not mandatory field for us, it's optional. So easily we can just add is optional decorator. Let's see if I don't add age, it won't show any error to me. But if I remove birthday, yes. Okay, so the other thing is we have to add is date string. Let's try this one. It should come from there. Okay, great, it's working. If I add just one W here, yeah, I will see the error. Okay, great. For test, let's add another parameter, for example, children. Children will be extended from another class which names child, and we'll have one variable here. Name not be enough for now. Child. Okay, so the first thing which we have to check if is an array. Okay, great. Let's test it. Yeah. So as you can see, it should be an array. Let me add it here. Children, an array. Name again as 1. Okay, great, it's working. But the problem is if I change it to the another variable, it will work again. It seems that the validator is not checking inside of this class. So the thing is, we have to define something to just tell the class validator that you have to check the inside also. So let's just do it together. There's a one decorator is validate nested. If it's array, we can just write each true, it means that for each of items should be valid. If it's not array, you can just pass this step and just use a validate nested simply. Then we should define type. Type should be an array, sorry, array function from chat. Okay, let's try it. Again, it's working, but the problem is I forgot to add the validator here. Sorry about that. Let's try it again. Yeah, as you can see, I'm getting an error children zero name, but you trust me, if you don't add this, it won't work normally. Okay, great. Since here we could just add a validator for our incoming data, but another important part is we should check the outgoing part also. Let's do it together again. The thing is, we have to create a global class for all of our DTOs. For example, I'm going to create it, name it outgoing validator.ts. Okay, let's just create a function DTO verification. I want to use a template because as a response I want to again get the types of my DTO, so it's easily I want to just add it like that. It should be a class of my DTO which is coming back, name can be verified. Okay, I have to define a function inside of this static. I will use a static because I don't want to create a new one and it's easier. Object can be any and the type will be T. Okay, let's just use try and catch as an every time I'm doing that. Okay, the first is we have to convert our object into the class, and by this let's just class it variable. There is a function in class transformer which is named plain to instance. We should pass the class and our object. Okay, and here by calling the validate sync, it will validate our which is coming also from class-validator, will validate all of our parameters. So let's just pass it here. And then we have to check if we have any error. Do something, I don't know, for now let's just use console.error, but after that we have to just throw an error, HTTP exception, something like that. Okay, great. And here also we can use console.error. Okay, great. But the thing is, it's not that much important, but it's better to add it. We have to check the type of object. It should be always an object. So let's just try if it was not object. So through new HTTP exception, which is coming from NestJS build. DTO should be a valid object. Also, sometimes better to just check object null. Okay, great. But zero. I think. Okay, great. Now let's again back to our DTO. Oh, sorry, I forgot to just return it. If else, or yeah, we need else because we are not returning anything here. Return object. Good. We can cast it for sure that the type will work. In our controller, let's create a service, for example, just for test. Const user name valid. Okay, for now it can be enough, and then just yeah, let's return it. Call the register user from the controller instead of those things. Const register user, and let's pass the variable here. Then we have to back here to register detail, and just we have to extend our class from DTO verifications. We should pass the type, and yeah, that's it. Let's back to our controller. Let's register validate date. Okay, great. Should return this. That's it. Okay. Okay, let's try that. As you can see, it seems that I'm getting an error. Yeah, the errors are coming here because I didn't throw an error there. So it's saying that you forgot to send children birthday image path and everything for just making works. Let's just, oh sorry, here you have to add a question mark if it's optional and optional. Yeah, you see that it's working. Thank you for watching this video. I hope you found that it's useful. If you enjoyed, don't forget to subscribe me to get the new updates.